You know, perception, it's all about perception. I don't know what my wife thinks of this area of the front yard here that we haven't been mowing this year. Some people might think, geez, that guy ought to get out there and mow his lawn. You know, but it's about perception. So people see a lawn and they think, let's have that all manicured and looking nice and everything. People see dandelions and they get so frustrated by them. They pile their lawn full of chemical fertilizers, do everything they can to get rid of dandelions. I do everything I can to keep them. I will avoid mowing as long as I possibly can if there are dandelions on the lawn. You need to look up dandelions if you haven't heard of them before. Stuff right here is pineapple weed. It's also known as wild chamomile. I mentioned it in another video, but my sister introduced me to this in the form of some jam or jelly that she got at the farmer's market. I've been mixing this with lemongrass and some mint and making a cold brew tea. Stuff is amazing. You can eat the greens in a fresh salad. But back to the dandelions, back in the Romans' time, this thing was used for everything medicinally, and it has some serious benefits today that have been scientifically confirmed. The reason why I leave dandelions on the lawn, and if I find them in the garden, I leave them there too. Dandelions can actually grow, they have a long taproot. They can grow as deep as 35 feet, which is extremely long. That's like just over half the length of my house here, down into the ground. And what they do is they pull up calcium and magnesium and nutrients from deep down and make it available to the upper levels of soil. And so dandelions are not a bad thing. In my opinion, I mean, if you want to have a lawn that looks like a golf course, you have the time and the money and effort for that, praise the Lord, enjoy it. I don't have the time, I don't have the money to do that. I mean, I suppose it doesn't cost that much to mow your lawn, but I mean, now with the price of gas, I mean, it does cost more to mow your lawn than it used to. And the effort, I mean, I'm not in good enough health to be out here when it's nice enough day to mow. It's like 90 degrees, and it's like, to me, I mow what I can when I can, but my front lawn is full of dandelions, full of wild strawberries too. You can go out there and pick a dish of wild strawberries. My sister and I always would get wild strawberries from around here and give them to my grandmother. But the reason why I left this patch here, I just noticed a pineapple weed, which is awesome. But the reason I left all this is it has white clovers, it has purple clovers. So those things will attract bees and beneficial insects, pollinators that will come. And I've got a little flower garden I planted for Elizabeth. She added some stuff to it. It's my Graham's old flower garden. It's doing pretty good. We got some stuff on the front of the house. I think those climbers are just gonna kind of open up probably at the end of the year, but hey, we tried, you know. We take everything in stride, you know. But the clovers, you can make honey from these red clovers and white clovers with sugar. No need for bees. It's called like faux honey or fake honey or whatever. And it's pretty good. And they say it does taste like honey. I mean, honey's expensive and everything, so I guess if you needed it as a sweetener or whatever, more power to you. I'm diabetic. I'm gonna try it with some Splenda and see how that comes out. But the real reason I left this stuff is for my rabbits. So like I said, perception is everything. So people might look at this and be like, wow, that needs to be mowed. That man a weed whacker, right? You know, I buy rabbit feed, and the cost of feed for my rabbits and chickens has gone up an incredible amount. It used to be like $12 or $14 just a few years ago when we started. Well, we raised the rabbits for 10 years now, and I think it was $12 for a bag of feed back then. It's $20 today. And the thing is, like, you can feed them solely on pellets. We've done that. During the summer, we always supplement it with greens that we get from the lawn. And so that's why I left this stuff here. The dandelion greens, they love them. The clovers, they love it. Just the grass they love too, but they really, really love dandelion greens and clovers. It's so good for them too. And also, when I was a young man, when I was a little kid growing up here, my grandfather used to pick these. I used to go out and help him pick dandelion greens. And you take them in, you wash them, you cook them. They do have a bitter taste, but when you put butter and vinegar, salt and pepper on them, they taste great. I mean, if you can eat collard greens, you can eat dandelion greens, turnip greens. I think dandelion greens might not be as bitter as those two, but they're super healthy for you. And as I mentioned, every part of the dandelion is edible and has some medicinal and herbal value. So I encourage you guys to look into this stuff. It's so interesting to me how the Lord color codes things, in some cases anyways. And I'm not an expert, by the way, but things that are yellow, they seem to affect the liver and the bile system of the body. Now, things that are red, like roses, I know that rose hips and things like that, rose petals, those are really great for blood, for women's health issues. Red clover helps detoxify the blood. And you know what, I grab a head of a clover every once in a while. I just eat the thing, you know what I mean? I have high blood pressure, it's not bad. But if you look around and see what God has actually placed in your yard for you, you'd be amazed. I imagine it saves me quite a bit on feed costs. And even if it didn't save me anything, it's adding a fresh source of nutrients for my animals. And it's really a great thing. One thing we do for our chickens, right now they're in our chicken tractor and they pretty much get all the greens they want, but if we have to keep them penned in, we use the bagger on our lawnmower. And when we mow the lawn, we'll throw a couple of bags of clippings in there and let them eat them. They have a blast with that stuff. Get in it and tractor it all over the place. And I just am so thankful for what the Lord has put here, and I'm just learning to pay attention to it. So I hope that this encourages you guys. I know I've been making a lot of short videos. I'm going to make a couple of longer videos like this. I know not everybody has the time to watch a video this long. I understand that. So I hope you get something from it if you do get the chance to watch it, though. If nothing else, just start looking at what the Lord has put in your life for you. And whether that be on the ground in the form of plants, whether that be the people in your life that He's put there for you, the opportunities, the situations, your perspective can really change your attitude and your outlook and stuff. It's really important. And God's left this stuff here for a reason. We're supposed to be a good steward of it. So I'm going to pick some of this stuff now and give it to my rabbits, and I'm going to go inside. God bless you guys. # Jesus is Lord.